Hello and welcome back to our Greenskins campaign, and indeed we are now about to besiege this castle. I've been spending quite a bit of time off screen, nothing too dramatic, but I have been attempting to try and do as many brawls as I can get my hands on, because I'm almost in the home stretch in that regard. You know, we've still got a couple, Yes, we've still got a couple to go, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying very, very hard to get those done because, well, I mean, they're not going to be absolutely awful for us or anything like that, but it is going to be such a relief to get them finished, because then we can just focus on doing what we need to do in regards to the battles themselves. Now, here's the problem. Oh dear. Hello, Mr. Duke. Mr. Duke Man person. Yes, we're going to actually go in here manually, because if I go into an auto-resolve, we will be suffering about... not entirely sure. Probably about 80 to 90 casualties. I've been doing quite a few auto-resolves against random lords and things like that, because, let's face it, you know, I don't really want to go in manually every single time, if I can help it, because it does save me quite a lot of time. Obviously, in real life, you know, not game time, but in real life time, it saves me a lot of time. So, really makes a huge difference, because that's actually one of the things that I don't mention that often, right? Because here's the thing: when it comes to real life expense, or shall we say, time, you know, time used or time spent on a particular particular facet of a campaign, you'd be surprised. Would you be surprised? I don't know. Maybe you would. I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. But basically, what it comes down to is this. Sometimes I'm going to be doing off-screen progression for such a significant amount of time, it's almost as though I have made 2 episodes. You know what I mean? It's that kind of deal. So when I have to do that for a particular reason or another, and it could be for any reason, you know, like for example this quest, could be for, you know, some additional, I don't know, additional grinding or something like that of units. It could be for recruiting some stuff for a garrison that we've just conquered, you know, regular busy work that isn't that exciting, you know, stuff like that. I generally tend to spend quite a lot of time off screen, if you want to know sort of like behind the scenes kind of stuff, even though it's not that exciting in itself for me to tell you about, you know, oh yes, I went over to that village and I recruited those people. Yes, indeed. You know what I mean? It's not that exciting for me to tell you that stuff. But maybe I thought you'd be interested, you know, just a little bit, because it's sometimes kind of nice to know a little bit of the process that goes into it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe it's interesting to you, or maybe it's not. If it's not, then I am sorry. But you know, I'm gonna mention it anyway. I'm gonna mention it anyway. So yeah. Anyway, point is, we do have that kind of time expense. So if I can save any little bit of time, you know, so if that means auto-resolving against a particular person or another, then I'm probably going to try to do that, if it means I'm not going to suffer huge amounts of casualties, because obviously in the grand scheme of things we will be losing quite a few casualties thanks to the auto-resolve. That's the reason why I didn't want to auto-resolve right now, because it is going to mean that when we go into an actual battle against this army, which I'm assuming is probably going to want to attack us, and will probably attack us, trying to, well, pretty obviously trying to prevent us from capturing this particular castle. Once they have done that, then, well, I'd prefer to be as powerful as possible, considering we are facing against an opponent that has, what is it? 600, I think? 617 or something like that I saw, I think. So, yeah, I'd love to be able to have as strong of an army as possible, because if we do, that is going to make things so much easier. Because obviously, here's the thing. I generally, okay, look, I'll level with you, okay? I'll level with you right here. Generally, I almost always think I am going to achieve victory, because, I don't know, maybe it's maybe it's positive thinking. I don't know, maybe I'm just you know, stupidly confident sometimes. Yeah, that's definitely the case. I definitely do get overconfident. That has been my downfall many times, in actual fact. Yes, it has been my downfall. But most of the time I choose to believe that we're going to be okay. You know what I mean? I personally prefer to think, oh yes, we're going to be absolutely fine. Because if we're not thinking that, and I'm consistently thinking to myself, oh yeah, I'm probably going to lose here, even though I do actually think that. Yeah, never mind. Even though I do actually think that quite a bit, actually. But yeah, anyway, the point is, I don't really want to go in with a negative mindset, despite the fact that, yes, sometimes I will think that nevertheless, just because it is human nature. Or at least, maybe it's a pessimistic human nature mindset, you know, sort of thing that happens. But anyway, I guess I will take all the loot, why not? But yeah, generally I would prefer to think that we are going to be okay. And that's also the reason why I generally want to optimize our chances of victory by just, you know, taking it a little bit easy when it comes to dealing with interloping armies, like for example this defender over here, because of course he's going to try to do something right now. Now I do have 23 injured, which is not exactly great, so I'm a little bit not entirely sure. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to let him go inside there, and I'm literally just going to go okay, unfortunate that that fellow managed to escape us, but that's okay, because here's the thing. What we can do, actually, you know what, I have so much influence right now, right? I have so much influence. I'm actually going to create an army. I know, I don't usually create armies that often, but in this case, I'm actually going to make an exception. So we're just going to get a whole bunch of people. I don't really want to get these guys. What do they have? Do they have anything really, really good? They do have some black orcs, actually. Yes, why not? Let's do it. Let's get these guys. And then these fellows are way too far away. I mean, this guy's 2 days away. So we could potentially do that. Alright, so we've headed into the siege. Now, here's the thing about this siege. We have a little bit of assistance. Yes, we actually have one of our allied lords, actually maybe even the leader of our faction, helping us out with his own army. It's actually pretty crazy. He had very significant army size. And obviously, because we've got our own massive army now as well, yeah, it's very annoying. Oh dear. Did I just... okay, I almost killed myself. Thankfully I didn't. Are we actually even gonna get... Are we even gonna get up here? I have a bad feeling about this, because here's the funny thing. Because this guy has appeared now, it basically makes it almost impossible for us to do anything like destroy the walls. I was actually attempting to destroy the walls. He came in, he took over the siege, and now I no longer have control of any of what I needed to actually do, which is obviously either get battering rams, siege towers, and so on and so forth, or destroy the walls. It seems like we might have a bit of luck here. Alright, let me just see if I can make my way through these guys. Thank you very much. Yes. There we go. Alright, here we go. Let's do this. Alright, it's about time. It's about time that we actually get this going. Oh, there we go. Wow, that's actually really, really nice damage already. Not too bad. Maybe... no. We're just going to go this way. There we go. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. And the question is, do I want to open the central gate? I don't really think that that's particularly necessary. Oh, hello. Am I going to die? Nope, but I did kill those guys up there. At least that's nice. Okay, so let me just have a quick look at what's going to happen here. I think we're going to open the front gate. Considering we're here, I might as well, right? And it is going to distract the opponent quite dramatically. It's going to actually force them to come after us, or at least I hope so. Now, let's see what happens. I kind of want to get upstairs again, don't I? Yeah, that's probably going to be the way to go here. Unfortunately, this fellow is... Wow, he's actually really, really dangerous. Look at that. He's actually still alive. Okay, let's just take him down. There we go. Nice. That was a Grail Knight. No wonder. No wonder he was so dangerous. Okay, let's try and kill this. Oh, we got a massive amount of them coming through here. Okay, this is actually pretty good for me. Boom. Look at that. Nice. Oh, yeah. How many did we actually kill right there? I don't even know. Probably at least 20, right? I don't know. I guess we're going to have a look-see after this. A little bit of... yeah, 21. Look at that. Okay, that actually worked out pretty nicely. Okay, so let me just open this up again. I want to force them into decision-making. Oh, yeah. I want to force them into a decision where they have to choose. Do they want to go in there? Do they want to close the gate? Do they want to fight me? I don't know. But they definitely want to do one of those things and hopefully not get my forces killed too dramatically. As you can see, the enemy doesn't seem to have closed the gate here. Kind of strange that they haven't. So that means that we're going to be getting even more people coming around this way, which is absolutely perfect. I'd like to switch to my two-handed ideally, but unfortunately that doesn't seem to be a thing that will happen anytime soon because, well, we've just got too many people that are going to outnumber us, and that's going to be a bit of a problem, isn't it? There we go. Nice damage. You know, it's actually quite funny. As far as I'm aware, this particular ability, the one if you use it with a one-handed, actually slows the opponent by 20%. I actually checked the manual because I wanted to see exactly what was going on with our loot piles and things like that, increasing the prosperity of a particular town. As far as I'm aware, as long as you have a bunch of loot piles or shiny piles or whatever it is, I actually don't know whether it's that specifically or not. The manual is a little bit broad. You know, to be fair, they have done an amazing job with the manual, by the way. There is so much information in that thing. It's actually kind of crazy. I actually really appreciate that they have done so much work on actually providing documentation about the mod itself and about the various mechanics and features that you're going to be seeing in the mod. Because there are a number of mods that don't do that. They don't do that, and then they literally just, you know, have a bunch of mechanics that you don't really know about and you're never going to experience because, you know, they don't mention it and it's maybe a little bit obscure, you know what I mean? So that kind of thing always makes me very appreciative because, especially as someone like me who's obviously making videos on it, I appreciate that because then it gives me a much broader overview. I don't have to do as much testing, as much experimenting and things like that. Because, as I said, talking about, you know, what I was talking about earlier in the episode, basically me just talking about what I do off screen, what I'm actually, you know, concentrating on and trying to reduce time spent so that I can spend more time on screen. You know, that's the whole deal, right? You know, I want to spend more time on screen than off screen because, well, I mean, that's where the fun is. You know, that's where the fun is for sure. Anyway, the point is, when we're talking about spending time off screen and on screen, whatever, and I'm talking about doing things off screen, usually there are going to be a number of times where I will literally just try things out. I'll make a test character before I even start a series. I'll test things out, not exhaustively, because let's face it, I sometimes actually want to experience things for the first time when you're with me, because I find that the most fun as well. Maybe you don't, I don't know. I think maybe it's fun because then we both don't know what's going to happen, and it's a lot more exciting that way. At least that's what I think. Anyway, otherwise, that's what I mean. You know, when there's a manual, when there's something that I can refer to, like a wiki or whatever, I generally don't like to use it until I'm stuck. You know, if I'm stuck in some way or another. And if it is exhaustive, it is very, very helpful. And I am super appreciative of the modding team for their effort in actually creating this manual, because it is so extremely useful. So yeah, if you ever want to know anything about any of the classes, any of the careers, the mechanics, the features, the quests, you know, because obviously there is a quest for the well, for anyone that wants to use artillery, and there is a quest associated with that. And you generally have to, if I recall correctly, you have to find a group of bandits, and a lot of the time you might have issues. You might have issues finding these guys because they spawn in a random location, and while they are marked nowadays, as far as I'm aware, they are marked on the map. As far as I'm aware, they didn't used to be, so that's obviously been refined over time. And there's 140 renown for us right there. That's pretty nice. But yeah, obviously that's not really why we're here, or not really why we're doing any of this, but it is very nice that they actually came in and decided to help us out, despite the fact that that obviously, well, didn't really help me specifically that much, but we did get 170 renown for free, basically. We ended up losing pretty much no people, and you can see here that this army was right outside. Now, the reason why this is funny is obviously because we've got Mr. Hoof Slasher. He's literally right here. Look at how many forces we actually have in this castle. We have almost 2,900. If I wait here for some time, you're going to see how large Mr. Hoof Slasher's army actually is. He's going to come out there in just a moment, and he's going to be like, hello, I'm ready. I'm ready to deal with you. Yes, look at that. There he is. 1,400 he's running around with. Absolutely crazy. And they've already placed people in here. Look at that. They've already placed units in here. I'm running around with 1,200 as well, by the way. So, yeah, very, very cool. I'm actually just going to run over here real fast. Let's actually see. Where are these guys? Traveling to Shrine of Gork. Traveling to Shrine of Gork. Okay, that's not really that useful, fellows. Not really that useful for me, or for even them, to be honest, but I guess it's okay. I guess it's fine. I'm going to go over to Curon. I'm actually extremely low in money, despite the fact that I actually went to all of these towns around here, and I basically just sold as much as I could, because well, I have a lot of loot. Let's just say that. I have a lot of loot, and it's very easy for me to make money. But as it stands... Oh, there's another brawl. Okay. We will do it. We will do it in just a moment, but I just want to show you how much cash we can actually get from these places. As you can see, it's not even that much. There's only 14,000 available here, and it's very easy for us to do this, because look at this. Look at all I have to do. All I have to do is literally just click a few times, and I am immediately done with bankrupting this place. And it's very sad. It's very, very sad, because obviously, ideally what I'd like is a marketplace to have upwards of 30, 40, 50,000. That would make things a lot easier for us, but unfortunately, that's just not how it is. Now this is going to be a little bit interesting. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen here, but we have a war declaration from the Montfort faction, but we also have a peace offering from these guys, the ones that I'm currently besieging right now. So I'm not a big fan of that, because obviously I'd love to be able to capture this. I think it would be a fantastic blow to, well, pretty much everyone in this area that is a part of this faction. This is going to be an incredibly good capture for us. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. No. I don't think we're going to be able to take this before the peace declaration comes in, the peace agreement comes in. I'm going to try my best, obviously, but sometimes you just can't do anything when the AI has their, well, you know, has their mitts on the wonderful pen and quill, parchment, whatever, whatever you want to call it, in regards to their signing of the agreement. Let's see if they actually decide to do that. Here we go. The Empire is deciding to declare war on us once again, the Wasteland faction, and they are very annoying. Alright, yeah, well, I guess we'll see what actually happens with that peace agreement, because here's the thing. Look at what's going on right now. We have a starvation mechanic that's kicking in, which is extremely, extremely good, and for some reason I still don't have two people that... Look at this. War Boss Kragdrut and Warboss Zerdraka. They are deciding not to come here, so I'm actually gonna... I can't dismiss them from the army while I'm actually in a siege. That is annoying. Okay. Unfortunate for me, isn't it? Yes, unfortunate. But we can destroy the walls. If I can destroy the walls here, and we can continue to starve the opponent out, we're gonna have an absolutely fantastic time. We should not have any problems whatsoever. Let's just see what happens. We've got 1 day. It says 1 day. I don't know. It's been more than 1 day, but they still say there. I don't know. They still have 1 day's worth of food. I'm assuming did they resort to cannibalism? I don't know. maybe they did. Maybe they did. Who knows? Okay. Well, let's just see what happens, because the wall is obviously down. The starvation mechanic is now active. Let's see if we can make something... Whoa. Okay. Okay, okay. Wow. Alright. We've got the dwarves against us. Yep, we've got another faction of dwarves against us, and we have another Bretonnian faction against us. Another one? 2 Bretonnian 3 Bretonnian 4? What? Okay, how many people actually want to fight us? That is actually kind of scary, to be honest. That's kind of scary. Alright, well, I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to go straight on in there now. I don't know, I feel like we kind of have to, otherwise we're just going to waste too much time. So... we're going to go... actually, you know what? Let's not go in there just yet. I need to level up some of my people. What about... let's get Black Orc bosses, I guess. And let's go for these guys. Orc choppers. Yeah, we need some Orc choppers and Goblin bosses. There we go. That is it. That is what we needed. Alright, so yeah, we're otherwise going to just go straight on in. Look at that. 688. We technically have a massive numbers advantage anyway, so technically I didn't even need to really starve them out. But I just wanted to make sure that maybe some of the higher tier enemies within the garrison were knocked out, so we don't really have to worry about them as much, because as you see in that previous siege, the Grail Knight took so long for me to eliminate, and I'm using a weapon that is highly penetrating. I did use it from the front, so maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to use my penetration from behind. It's probably going to be a lot easier to penetrate deeper into their armor, but who knows? Maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's not the case. Anyway, as you can see, we are obviously loading some of these shaders right here. I'm actually not entirely sure why we're even loading the shaders right now. I guess... oh, yeah, it's because of the lords that we have available here. Yeah, we got loads of these guys. Look at this crazy, crazy bonuses for these fellows. It's actually insane how many bonuses that we're actually getting from this. Let's do that. There we go. And here we go. Let's do this. All right. So I'm ready. I'm ready to siege this castle. Actually, no, it's not a castle. It's a town, actually. Yeah, it's a town. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go straight on in, and I am literally going to use my ability immediately against these guys. Unfortunately, we do have... yes, I see. Yep. Okay, yeah, exactly what I thought. Okay, yeah, so this is going to be a bit of a problem. Okay, so I'm just going to do this, and then I'm going to run back. Not because I'm scared, but just because I literally... there's no point. There's no point in me going over there, because what's going to happen is I'm going to basically just... I'm just going to take really free damage, right? And I don't want to give that away. I think that's extremely, extremely stupid of me if I were to do that. Because if I go in there now and I literally just do whatever, I'm going to eventually be in a situation where I just go, oh yeah, I just took over 50% damage from archers for nothing. You see? And that's not what we want. We don't want that. We want to be able to get as much value. I've talked about this before. As much value as possible. What? What just happened? What just happened? Okay. Okay. I got teleported. And I ended up losing my war status because we retreated. Okay. What actually just happened right there? That's never happened to me ever before. Okay, you know what? We're going to tell my forces to not charge. We're going to tell them to follow me. And I'm going to take my boar into the keep here just a little bit. And I will just take the damage now, okay? I will just take the damage. I know I said I didn't want to take free damage, but this is kind of forcing me to do it. It's forcing me to come in here now, because I don't really want to go in the other direction now, because if I go in the other side, we are going to probably get teleported again. So I'm hopeful that my forces will be able to come over here and actually help me out. Are they actually coming over here? I have a bad feeling. No, they're not. Oh, no. That's terrible. That's really, really bad, actually. Okay, well... I guess I'll just continue to go this way, then. This is kind of bad, actually. Yeah. Look, what is actually going on with these guys? They're going to get teleported again. I have a bad feeling they're going to get teleported, aren't they? Oh, this is bad. This is bad news. This is bad news bears right here. I might, in fact, be... this might be a bugged siege somehow. I'm not sure how that would be the case, personally. But, I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll be lucky enough to avoid it this time. I don't know how it even happened before, but yeah. That was kind of shocking. That was kind of shocking. Okay, so let me just see here. Am I actually even... Okay, yeah, let's go over this way. Oh, there's my boar running around. That's hilarious. Okay, let me just go over this way. Oh, this is perfect. Hello. Hello, friends. I mean, hello, mates. How you doing? Something like that. Anyway, we'll see if we can... maybe I should level up my two-handed now, actually. You know what? Let's do it. If I can. Yeah, a little bit of damage. How much do you think I'm actually going to be able to get here? Because I'm thinking we're just going to use my ability. My special ability. My special ability to murder many, many people. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I've got 239. Ah, okay. Yes, I do actually need 250. Okay. So, if they could just provide me with a couple more humies to eliminate, then I'll actually be pretty happy with that, to be honest. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. I don't really care about, you know, getting the most kills with my ability right now, because I do want to get to 250 in skill, but I do want to try to clear out as much as I possibly can here. Let's just try and do as much damage as possible. There we go. Nice. Massive damage, and they are actually running away at this point, which is to be expected, of course. Kind of half expected them to run much earlier, but I guess maybe they were thinking that they were going to have a much easier time. This is insane. Look at the amount of damage I can do here. Look at that. Oh, I just knew it. I knew that there was something amazing coming right there. That was really, really fun. And indeed, there are some super, super cool slow motion moments as well, because when you get a decapitation, there is actually decapitation in this, surprisingly enough. I didn't know that, but I saw that when we were slicing at their faces earlier on. And, well, things were happening. Things, very, very nice things were happening to them, and they were not best pleased. They lost their heads over it. Yes, not in a sort of emotional state way, but in the physical way. Yes, indeed. But, yeah, let me see if I can do a little bit more here. Nice, yes. Okay, now we can do some nice little overheads, and we are, of course, buffing our forces, and we're able to hopefully get a little bit more in the way of... Yep, we've got 244. That's really nice. Technically, I would have most likely... Oh, hello. There we go. Nice. Yeah, technically, I should and probably would have gotten 250 if I had just been a little bit more aggressive, but sometimes in these kinds of situations, especially when we've already had a weird thing happen, I'm kind of a bit, well, shall we just say, I'm kind of a bit skeptical, or shall we say suspicious, about whether we're going to get teleported again. So I want to try to be as, shall we say, effective as possible. Let me actually see what's happening here. Oh no, I'm actually here again. Oh dear. I could technically teleport myself once more. That would be bad. Okay, no, it seems like we might be okay here. Nice little ability usage. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I don't think I'm going to get 250 in this particular siege. That's very sad, isn't it? Yes, it's very sad, but that is just how it goes. And if I can maybe... You know what? Yeah, no, I think we're okay here. I think we're actually fine here. And maybe I can get to 246? Somewhat doubt it. Yeah, maybe I can go over here to these enemies. Oh, hello. Are we stuck somehow? What's actually going on here? No, they escaped. They escaped. Okay, actually, you know what? That's very cool. I didn't forget. Yeah, so there is obviously something I can actually fulfill that request now. So we can actually just go in to the keep, and we can actually see what the keep defense is all about. We're going to take some Black Orc bosses in there with me. Why not? And this is going to be the first time we actually do this. Hopefully it's not going to crash, because it would be my luck, wouldn't it? It would be my luck that I basically go like, oh yes, we're going to go into the castle keep and we're going to have a fun time. And then, yeah. No, but it's obviously going to be cool. Yeah, as you can see right here, it's going to be really, really fun for us to actually go in. Ooh, I love look at this. The lighting effects. I like it. Look at that. The light is coming in through the window right there. I know that seems like like a really simple thing, but it looks so cool. It really does. Okay, let's see if I can kill these without actually dying. Can you imagine if I would die against these random peasants? That would be very embarrassing, wouldn't it? Yeah, but we did it. Look at that. We actually managed it. Very, very nice indeed. And I believe that is it. Yeah, we just got that one last enemy. And let's see how much renown we're actually going to get for this. Only 66. I guess we are running around with a pretty massive army, so I guess that does make quite a bit of sense. But yeah, as you can see here, we have actually reduced our overall army size because we lost our war status, right? We lost our war status because of the fact that we had that weird bug teleporting us into no man's land, basically. Very weird. I'm glad I caught that on camera though, because otherwise I don't think anyone would have believed me, to be honest. Yeah, but now we're gonna have some issues because I have no idea what I'm gonna do about this problematic meter. Yes, it's very, very problematic. Let me actually just get rid of these light harnesses. Thank you. And oh, they've got a load of money. Thank you very much. This is great. Give me all of this. This is going to be wonderful. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. That's great. Okay, so let's wait here for a little bit of time. Maybe the war meter is going to go up because we did such a massive siege. Is it? No. It literally didn't go up. Are you serious? Okay, we're going to have to do something about this. Oh, that's really, really bad. I think what I might have to... I might have to donate troops to the garrison. Yeah, I might have to do that. Anyway, I think that's probably going to be it for this episode anyway. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.